Hi, my name is Valerie Mellema. This is my first video for the massage course. This is Kevin. He's a 4-year-old retired racehorse, thoroughbred. He's pretty, overall he is really a pretty healthy guy, but he's kind of unique in that he has a permanent tracheostomy. So he's got about a 2-inch hole in his throat permanently. His flap twisted around his esophagus or his trachea, and they had to remove it and leave the hole. He had that surgery in December before I got him. I got him in March. Something unique about a permanent tracheostomy is that it reduces their sense of smell. So he tends to eat things he probably shouldn't eat, and then when he does, he kind of overdoes it. So right after I got him in March, the county was trimming trees along the road, and they let a bunch of branches fall into his pasture, and he ate a whole bunch of leaves. And then we had what I call an opposite colic. Instead of constipation, he had explosive diarrhea, but then he had also all the other symptoms of colic and a really upset tummy. So we kind of had a setback as far as his condition then, but he's starting to look much better. He just needs to fill his top line in a bit more, but he's getting there. He also has really bad parrot mouth. He was actually just seen by the vet last week, and the vet said that it's really so bad there's nothing he can do. If they had done something when he was a foal, they likely would have had to like reset his jaw to fix it. But as it is, his lower teeth sit directly behind his front teeth, like on his gums. So he doesn't get much out of grazing grass because he can't really bite it right. And then he also drools a whole bunch, as you can see. But you know, other than that, he's pretty healthy guy. He just has a few little things. The tracheostomy, I feel like, has really created a bunch of issues in his neck up here. You can tell when you're above, like when you're riding him, that he's out of balance in these upper cervical. I mean, and you can even kind of feel it in the joints themselves. And he was actually adjusted by a chiropractor about a month ago, but I can still feel like he's not even. And then it also creates a lot of tension in the muscles here, and in the pole. So we're gonna work on that today. Movement wise, we'll do a quick jog, and adjust the camera for that. And as you can see, he's pretty low energy as well because we don't even have an in-hand trotting us today. But he does also have some balance issues in his front feet that we're working on with the farrier as well. Okay, now we're going to do our palpation. So he's pretty even as far as Atlas goes. And surprisingly, with his tendon issue, I mean, his parrot mouth issue, he's not really sore in the TMJ. But you can kind of feel right here, it feels like his brachiocephalus is like thicker on this side than it is on, so it'd be thicker or more prominent rather on the left side than his right side. And obviously there's a little bit of something because he's not digging that. And this horse will tell you what he likes and does not like. So there's just, you can see there's some issues in this neck that we're going to have to work out. And even just palpating, he's starting to release. Also has really prominent shoulders. Like it's really bony. I think he just needs to build up these muscles. The trapezius is stiff. Tender in this lower part of the intercostals. Back is good. Not really any reaction in there. Quarters are good. And his muscles don't feel like overly tight. He's just real sensitive right over where this tracheostomy, well really it's right behind the tracheostomy. It feels like it's about C3. Just this whole area, he's just like, leave it alone. A little bit right here where the saddle sits in the trapezius, but that's just, he's been getting light work, maybe ridden a couple times a week. As we build, his top line has come a long ways with some exercise. So he's just a little sore, I think, from that. Even it's not that noticeable. Lumbars are good. tightness at the base of the neck in the C7. Got a good range of motion. Picking up feet is not one of our favorite things to do. Come on, pick up. Come on. Ugh. Ankles and hocks are good. Got a lot of flies going on. Let's see. Fly sprig anywhere. This is the foot he wouldn't let me clean out while ago, so let me grab that real quick. Alright. Kind of moved on me. Switch over? No, we don't have to go that way, but it's alright, we can do that. Alright, so a little back up then. We'll start with some Swedish. Get the blood flowing and the muscles warmed up. He's kind of one of those horses who he's only like touchy-feely when he wants to be. So he is kind of a wiggler. Just go with the flow. He'll calm down and relax here in a minute. Back up. We're just going to work on the splenius, this brachiocephalic. It's real like stringy right here. I'm wearing gloves because I swear no matter how much I groom him, he's just constantly dirty. But he lives outside. Relaxing. I'm not using a whole lot of pressure. He was real reactive at first to quite a bit. So I'm just using really light pressure. Just working on this little area. right here, you can just feel how it's a stringy feeling tendon or something. And it's very tight. Better. You like that, huh? Slowly working down his neck. Really tight and stringy here too. Lots of tension, lots of tension. On let him reposition himself. Back up. You might be saying that he's done with the neck. Can you scoot over? You want around in circles, buddy. And back up. We'll do this right side for sake of balance purposes here. Swedish. Beautiful ligament is real tight. Splenius is tight and stringy. Brachiocephalus is a little tight. Because the one side has been loosened up, you can actually start to feel the changes here in the cervical section that was all off balance. And hardly anything has really been done here. But he's letting some of that tension go. He doesn't want to stay still for it. So he's going to move on to the shoulder. We'll come back. awfully wiggly today. Lots of wiggles. Not trying to keep switching sides, but as he wiggles around, he's a horse who tends to put in front of you the things that he wants attention to. He kind of does that with his feet. When he gets his feet trimmed, like if he wants one, he'll give it to you. So I'm just trying to do what Kevin wants, trying to nibble me there. I'm going to work on this area here on the shoulder. That must be a little tender because he's giving me side eye. Oh, is that tender? It doesn't help that one foot's on the ground and one's not. Release. Some muscle lifting and squeezing on these legs. Actually quite loose. I don't know why the meat here there. Move on. Nothing like the most of not long ago. Apparently he has tender in these deltoids. He just didn't really palpate it. Because every time I go for him, he leaves. So we're just going to come back to that in a minute. We'll work our way around. And he's back. one thing I've noticed with a lot of our lesson horses, not so much with him because he's my personal horse, but they tend to get sore in their pectoral muscles, especially right behind their front legs where they attach at the barrel, just from the girthing. So I'll try to give those a little attention. I actually use a correct connect girth with him, and it works really well. He doesn't seem to get that pectoral soreness. Some percussion on the hindquarters. Back to these deltoids, he was so sensitive about. Some good Swedish. I'm working on with a little bit of finger pressure, percussion. How much better? Starting to get a droopy eye. Much better. This side, his ascending pectoral is a little sore. So we might need to look at our girth fit on the right side versus the left side. And these ascending thoracic intercostals are all just a little tender. Come back to the neck here. The splenius is much better. That threadiness is almost gone. Or not a little more. I also feel like that's the spot he tries to itch all the time on, particularly this pole he's tied up to. Got tenderness there. You can't blame him. He's got this hole in his throat and I have to clean it, and that means I have to pull on the skin and the hair because he gets these little globs of dried mucus. Okay, so even though he was a little wiggly throughout the whole process, his neck actually feels much more even muscle-wise, so I think he really needed to lose a bunch of tension, especially on his right side, which makes sense because when I'm riding him, that right side always looks like thinner than his left side. Even though he just moved and now he's standing kind of funny, he was standing much more square overall. A lot of that I think will be helped as we get his feet kind of straightened up. They tend to kind of grow like in funny directions and they just really got to get even back up. But he's thoroughbred and he has some of the typical thoroughbred issues. As far as feet go, but overall I think he started to enjoy it. He kind of relaxed and took a little snooze there for a minute. So I think in the future I'll really pay a lot of attention to his neck and kind of do mini massages and kind of keep him loosened up there. He also spends like 99.9% of the day at the round bale. And our round bales have nets over them to help with the wastage. And I think that also kind of contributes to some abnormal eating patterns though. So it's kind of a win-lose situation. We save a lot of hay, but our horses kind of eat in funny positions all day sometimes. So there's that. But overall, I think more than anything, he's enjoyed coming up to the barn and not getting ridden and just getting massaged today. So that's it for this video, and that's it.